Hey, hi everybody. Wow,
Hello.
Hello.
you weren't expecting that one, were you, Melanie?
I was not.
Molly was. Hi,
Yes.
Molly. How you doing
Hello.
today?
Good. How are you?
That was the GPRS 2025 calendar cover girl.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tammy Lynn. She's up in Nebraska, is where she got adopted to. So, but she's the cover girl, and last year's cover girl passed the baton off to her. So, that's the calendar contest every year for the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society, and that's a huge fundraiser for them too. Okay, and you get a calendar out of the deal. So wow, boy, what a show we have today, and we got to get going. But two announcements to make, actually three, is um, there's been a couple of rescues that have been overwhelmed with medical expenses. One of them is the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society. There's a link in the description right to the donation page, and the Great Pyrenees Rescue Resources Utah Montana. They they got hit with a bunch of puppies from different litters and a lot of medical costs. It's just staggering. All right, and there you go, right there. But when Molly starts taking over the interview, I'll put some links into the comments also. Okay, and um, and then last but not least, Roman Gottfried. Everybody remembers Roman, and he done did it again. He put together a self help class. We tried to get him on the show, but he had a booking for the time of the show, so we did a pre-record with him last night. If we have time, we're going to play that. But he's got a class that is not live, so you learn at your own pace. And when you exit and you go back to it, you'll get to resume, pick up where you left off. It's really cool. So, and experienced peer owners will benefit. First time peer owners will greatly benefit because he does a deep dive into the breed. Okay. So anyway, enough of that. Anything to add, Molly or Melanie?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. I know when I'm supposed to shut up. Our first dog is, speaking of the Utah Rescue, Great Pyrenees Rescue Resources, Utah, Montana. Um, this is one of the dogs that had the staggering medical cost. Okay. And you're going to get to meet him live. But first, we're going to play this video, kind of explain a few things. Wow. And there's Mr. Tate right there, the superstar. Wow, he's really bounced back, hasn't he, Jess?
He has. Yep. He's fully recovered.
Wow. Isn't that awesome? That didn't look very pretty when it was going through it. And also in the video, it states that they weren't sure what caused it, but they do know what causes it now, huh?
Yeah, I think it's a foxtail.
Got lodged in his throat and got infected, it abscessed, but look where he's at now.
Yep, he's all better.
And you got some good news about him too, don't you?
We do. So he's going to do a foster to adopt trial. We're sending him and his brother up to Idaho to make that happen for him.
That is awesome.
Yep.
Okay. But that doesn't mean you can't apply.
Right.
Still get out there and apply because, well, they got to get to know you. So it takes a little bit of time to process through an application. And if you have an application already on file and you see a new puppy you want or a dog you want that could go fast, you're already in there, right?
Exactly. And he's got a bunch of brothers that still need adopting.
Yep. And it's awesome. So, but he sure is good looking boy, that helmet head. You know,
it's the funniest thing. He's so cute.
For his picture on the thumbnail, I gave him a Photoshop haircut. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
But I like him better live. So now, is he similar in personality to his siblings, or do you know that answer?
I think so. I think that we're finding that they're all very, very sweet. And I'll tell you, having these 5 puppies come from somebody that actually bred them intentionally, where they were able to stay with the parents of them and have some time with their siblings, you can see night and day the behavior in these puppies as opposed to puppies that were taken way too early from their parents, because they understand the cues from the other dogs. They don't need to be retrained on, when no means no. And the sweet temperament, it's just gone a long way.
Yeah. And and the folks that purposely bred them, they had, whether they knew it or not, they were following the puppy protocol that most rescues have in place, so they can learn from their siblings and their mama and stuff. I got the opportunity to meet his mama and his daddy, and the rest of his siblings. I think they have 3 of them still, but and one of them's the badger faced around his eyes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They're adorable. And so what you don't get with Tate is a dog that mouths your arm, so you can they learn that from their siblings that hurts with those teeth. Okay. So yes, Rena's absolutely right. A sweet temperament is very important, because you don't want to bring a puppy into your home, adopt one, and have that dog be so annoying to you and your resident dogs that it's no longer fun. All right. So when you get a dog that's early weaned, reach out right away for help. Okay. Yep. We want to do this early, and they respond quickly. So, but boy, look at him. He's just, now now I know most of the time you've had him, he's been sick.
Yes.
But what would their perfect home look like for the other puppies?
So he is a really social boy. He likes other animals around him, even cats. He loves children, even though, they don't understand how big they are. They might knock him over. So little kids, he still does well with them. He's very gentle. But, if they get playing, he might bump into them. So him and his brothers, I would say, make sure that they have other siblings to play with. And he's been good. So he hasn't had any accidents in the house. He was quick to potty train with the dog door as well. So he's learned how to pick up and use the doggy door pretty easily. Very smart, very good. And we've been working on crate training, and he uses crate training for treat time. Usually we do in crates. If I was to let go of this, he would take it in his crate and go lay down.
Right. Now you do crate training because how many dogs do you have again?
7 right now.
7 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
and so we just want to make sure that he has his own safe space when he wants to go relax. That's his own area and to eat. You know, he likes to have his own room to eat in. So that's where we do meals and stuff for him.
Because he feels comfortable there and safe.
Mhm.
So, and that is important. And you don't typically, and probably you do at feed time, but you don't shut the door. He just goes in there and feels safe.
Exactly. We don't shut the door. Yep.
And that's good, because if we shut the door too soon, you may send the wrong signal to your dog that you're crate training.
Yep.
Okay? So, but boy, I tell you, that is one amazing dog. And you've had a run on these dogs lately, starting with Melanie. Going to have to help me out. How do you pronounce it? Maybe you just Iro?
Iro. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Amos. I like Amos. All right.
Yeah, Amos.
I can spell it. I can pronounce it. All right. But he wasn't cheap either.
No, he was everything to kind of kick it off. And we've had him. We've had Tate. We also had Wes, who Lily has. He had an abscess on his head. He was part of the
I saw that.
Yep. And then we also have Gary. If you remember Gary, he's with Gary and Craig, and Amy's got him, and he had hip replacement on one side. Now
and he needs another.
Yep.
I remember he needed 2 hip replacement surgeries.
Yep, exactly. And then Yuki, she's been going through, she's incontinent, so we've got a lot of medical and discovery surgeries for her.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So we're working through things, as we do.
You're not a giant rescue that has a donor base a mile long either, right?
Correct. Yep.
Right. And so they need everybody's help.
That's true. And we have Maisie here, who's our honorary peer. We pulled her from the Tooele City shelter.
Okay, that's the one.
Yep. She had a cherry eye. She had to be spayed and a dental, and she was really expensive as well. Well,
she's got white in her. There could be some peer in there, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you bring your website up again, please, Melanie? Because now his bio is not up yet, but there's no rush now because he's going to go to a foster that intends to adopt him.
Yeah, he's actually posted on our website now. I can't remember if I put a bio in there, but I did add some photos. And if there's not a bio, I'll go in and create one for him.
And that you might want to put his bio on his YouTube description too, then, because I didn't have one when I did the video. Exactly. And now you've got a Chihuahua over there that isn't acting like a Chihuahua at all.
Yeah, that's Daisy. So we got Daisy and Maisie now. Mm-hmm.
And she, whoops, she doesn't want to be touched either.
No, she doesn't. She's very sensitive in what she wants. So
yeah,
she'll tell you.
Too loud, everybody, because Chihuahuas are bad. They're badass dogs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And they won't back down from a full grown, from Lucian if need be. They won't back down.
Yeah. She's small but mighty.
They know that a Great Pyrenees can just put a paw on them and they're done. But but fortunately, Great Pyrenees, a lot of them do well with Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
I like to think that's because they don't know what they are. I just figured out what they were about 5 years ago. They're a dog.
Yeah.
But they are heathens. So
they are.
Good guardians.
Yeah.
Have you heard her bark yet? Or him, Tate. Have you heard Tate bark yet?
Yeah, I actually got some, yes, in his barks. And he also, he was playing with Hannah. I'll send you the video of it earlier today, and where he was getting quite vocal, just having a good time.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now he came out of New Mexico, and New Mexico is a tough state, all right, for shelter dogs.
Yeah.
If a Pyrenees goes into a shelter in New Mexico, man, if a rescue is not on top of it as they go in, they don't come back out.
Yep, exactly.
And I don't know. I don't think it's prejudice against the breed. I think it's just the fact that all giant breeds will go in and not go out.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the room for the most part. So anyway, he wasn't in a shelter. He was surrendered by, and I think it was a good surrender. I have no problem with this one. And neither was the rescue.
They did the right thing. Yep.
Yes, they did. And look at him go. And he still has those needle teeth, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
and you don't have to pull any out of your arm because he was raised properly during his first 10, 12 weeks of life, which is extremely important.
Yes, that's correct.
And his mama, she's a beautiful girl.
Yeah,
And,
she is.
yeah. All right. So anyway, that's where you go. It's gprescuerum.rescuegroups.org. All right. And there you can click on animals and just click on animal list, and you can go down and you see all the dogs they have. How many do you have now? You don't have a lot. You're not a giant rescue.
Yeah, I would say probably around 20.
Wow, you have that many.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you have it. The Great Pyrenees Rescue Resources, Utah, Montana. Man, I wish you had shortened that name. Oh, you did. GPRRUM.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for bringing him on and showing that they can heal. Okay.
They can heal. Yeah.
So wow.
Thanks for having us on.
Oh, no problem. And next time, I still want to do a happy adoption story with Lucian.
We can, absolutely.
Lucian's a good dog now. And a lot of people say, I still to this day read comments in places that people won't even consider a rescue dog because they think they're broken. All right. I'm here to tell you, I promise you, dogs don't break. They really, really don't. Unless you step on them, you could break them. But they can always, their background isn't as important as what you think it is. Okay. If you treat them with kindness, they're going to treat you right back with kindness and more loyalty for life.
Yep.
And they will fight to the death to save you. Period. They won't back down, tuck away, and run away. They don't do that. That's not in the breed. So, wow. Once again, thank you, Jess. I know you got to go, and we're going to give you the opportunity to make a classy escape.
Thank you, guys.
Go save dogs. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. Let me find you so I can take you. There you are. Wow. Now that was Tate something, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh boy.
He's
And I'll tell you, there's one down there. There's two of them down there killing me here. And who do we feature next?
Let's go to Pico. Let's go to
All righty then. We can go to Pico. Now this guy, whew, I don't know what to say. Just watch this video. All right. Does he look as good in person as he does in the video? Yes, he does.
Oh my gosh, look at that face. He's just so cute. His face is so teddy bear like.
Man, oh man.
And he's being really gentle with these treats too. So Pico's pretty young, and he's very laid back for his age. I think he's not super high energy like other young dogs. Although he can put the afterburners on when it's time. Him and Malo get into quite the romps.
I bet.
Twice a day, and they're right after meal times.
Yeah. Wow. So, do you have cats?
I do. We've got 2 cats. They're both a little bit on the elderly side, and he does get along with them. He thinks that they should play with him occasionally.
Do they?
But most of the time he acknowledges them and ignores them. But occasionally
What
he'll
about
get
that big tiger that was in the video? Is that yours?
No, I don't have room for that in my house.
Okay. All right. He doesn't cuddle with a tiger then,
No.
huh? I ran across that video and I knew I could put it in somewhere. Okay. Man, so how much does he weigh? Have you weighed him recently?
I haven't. I would put him around 60, 65 pounds.
He's not a very big guy, but he's only 15 months old approximately, right?
Yeah. His name is Pico, and in Spanish, Pico means small.
Oh, so somebody knew this. Well, that's probably his new rescue name, right?
Yes.
Wow.
He's about the size of my lab. My lab's on the smaller side for that breed.
Okay.
Pico is definitely small for a Pyrenees.
Yeah, we're going to be cautious on calling him a pocket peer until he gets a little older and see if he has another growing spurt. Molly, you want to ask some questions here? I got to get some links posted in the comments.
Yeah, no, he looks very like soft. How is his coat?
His coat is not as soft as a puppy, not as soft as you would expect it to be, but it is. I think I'm reviving it with his frequent meals and being in rescue and foster care.
Yep.
He's definitely a mix. Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah. Well, he's.
I don't know if you can see it in the video, but he's got apricot freckles all over his face.
Oh yeah.
And then the rest of him is solid white.
Yeah.
So he's got some on his feet.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
He's a beautiful dog.
So cute.
How long you had him, Krista?
About 6 weeks, I think.
Okay.
All the time kind of runs together. So when I first brought him home, I didn't have any issues introducing him to the other dogs. They were all very welcoming, and he was very peaceful in getting to know them. He played with Malo the same day, so he was already ready to accept a new friend.
Okay.
He did have some accidents coming into the house at first, but now he's not had any accidents the last couple weeks, so I think that he is fully potty trained.
Wow.
And his kennel, he will go in it if you insist, but he really doesn't like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what would his perfect home look like?
Definitely one with a younger, playful dog, an active family, and one that is patient with him learning the leash skills. He does need a little bit of work when it comes to the leash. He tends to pull when he gets very excited, but after about 5 minutes on a walk, he'll calm down. He would do well in a home with young children because he's not particularly active around them. He'll calm down a little bit and try not to bump into them.
Okay.
Are you done?
What about resource guarding? The dreaded resource guarding that shocks everybody.
None.
Wow.
None.
Is that something?
Yeah.
Is he going to be a candidate for the perfect peer?
Well, I think if he was better on a leash, I would give him 5 stars. Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
So the little stinker pulls you all over the place.
Yes, for the first part of the walk. After that, he's fine. But he does try to, he gets very excited when we go out the front door. When I put the leash on him, he's trying to get out. He's gotten a lot better over the last couple weeks about hanging back. When I tell him to get back from the door, he'll wait a little bit.
Wow. What a personality.
Yeah.
And that face. Man, that face. Great. Was he at the headquarters first? Is that where you brought him from?
I think he had been there for less than 24 hours. I saw him and I was like, oh, he's really
face,
cute.
huh?
back tomorrow for him.
Gotcha. Thank God I don't live in Texas. I'd have every one of them at my house, I think. I love that. I love these photos, but man, look at that. He moves. He lives.
Mhm.
Good.
So Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org is where Mr. Pico is. And how old did you say he was? About 15 months in that neighborhood?
Yes, I would put
That's
him there.
That's about a year and 3 months, isn't it?
Maybe like a couple more months older than that.
Okay. It's hard to judge in rescue. Okay.
Very.
Unless
Yes.
they're born in rescue.
Yes.
And sadly, there's been quite a few born in rescues lately. So, but anyway, spaying and neutering would help take a bite out of the overpopulation problem. Just spay and neuter. And most cities have what do they call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Low cost spay and neuters.
Yes.
It doesn't, and then some don't. And those are the ones that those are the ones that actually discourage spay and neuter by their pricing. So, and that's a shame. Wow, Krista, thanks for bringing him on. You've been on. You're regular on the show, just not weekly. Is all. You've been here a few times.
Yes.
And
I love
everyone is
coming on the show and showing off the dogs. I feel like when people can see videos of the dogs for longer than just the 30 seconds that we send the rescue to post online, it gives them a better snapshot of the dog's personality and what they'll likely see once the dog gets into their home. And I find that I have applicants once the dog goes on the show, and it's a lot easier to refer them over to the show if they haven't already seen it, or applicants see the dog on the show and then they end up applying for him.
right. Plus his videos that I make, it'll go into his profile also, and it's always on the GPRS YouTube channel. Any of the videos that you see on the show, you can go back if you want to see one again. You can go to the youtube.com at GPRS Pyrs. That's GPRS's YouTube channel. Wow. Thank you for taking that boy, but it's probably more of a thank you, Melise, for bringing that boy in for me, huh?
Yes. Thank you for letting me take him.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed having him in our home.
Now, don't forget, everybody, the GPRS headquarters got damage from the hurricane. Have you been there since then, Krista?
Yes. So we had the property's got tons of trees on it, and it keeps the yards shaded. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of big ones, and luckily no dogs were hurt. But for the most part, the big limbs that are blocking pathways and damaging cages are down. Now we're into the phase of rebuilding the fencing. We're recovering slowly but surely. All of the work is done by volunteers, so it takes some time.
So it's a little more difficult for headquarters to take a dog right now, isn't it? So, and that can't happen that way.
Yeah, there was limited room. I think we're only down a couple of kennels now. We have the big one that we lost is back up and available, or she has somebody, and I haven't been up there in a week or two.
Okay. But wow, they took a hard hit. And now, did I read correctly that how you're making up for the big giant shade tree being gone is using sunshade on the kennels?
Yes.
I've used that. That stuff works.
Yeah. I mean, they're really great.
Yeah.
Especially because you can get them up same day versus a tree takes forever to grow.
Right. A tree like what came down back there for the shade won't grow back in any of our lifetimes.
No.
And that's a shame. That tree's been there a lot of years. So, and it provided a lot of shade for a lot of dogs.
Yeah, I think it shaded 3 different kennels.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. So, man, thanks for bringing him on. We got to move on here. And we've got another young one, younger than Pico, though, unfortunately for Pico. But nobody's overshadowing anybody. Everybody's getting the same. And but boy, this next dog, I can't wait to get her up here. It's Clarabelle, and actually, we're going to bring her up because we got a good shot of her right here, right now. There she is. Look at Miss Wiggleworm. Hi, Melissa. How you doing? Never mind. I can see how you're doing. Looks like somebody's in a little bit of a playful mood. Perfect timing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
woke up. She woke up now, so she's super active.
All right. Wow. Holy cow. Now, we didn't get to make a video for Clarabelle because, well, quite frankly, Melissa's got her hands full right now. All right. And if anybody thinks fostering a puppy is easy, you better think again. It's not. So, and then the ones that foster, like what we had one on last week where she had mama and 7 puppies.
Oh my
That was a chore. Look at her go. That's Clarabelle. What can you tell us about her so far, Melissa?
Well, she's now almost 30 pounds, and we think she's about 3 months old. She still has those really, really sharp puppy teeth. She loves to play, and she loves playing with her 2 foster brother and sister.
Yeah, I heard about that. There's one of the pictures. And make no mistake, now this is for the viewers, don't read anything into that. She's a puppy. All right. In fact, if I was to read, there we go. Now that one you can read something into. She didn't have a chair. Mom's got to get her a chair. So, wow. And the dog we had on before, Tate, you remember how he sat and looked defeated with his cone on. He was sitting like a human. So, wow, she sure is gorgeous. Look at her live. And that's the thing. This is live. All right, Molly, I'm going to shut up now because you may have some questions.
Was that the male or the female that she was on top of in those photos?
That she's a female. She's her name. That's Holly. She's 2. So,
Very
and
nice.
she's loving to play with it. Our older peer Rufus, he's not too thrilled with her. He's showing her the things that she can't get away with. So he's trying to teach her some manners. He also taught her how to bark and grumble. So she's yes, right there.
Very nice. Do you know much about her backstory, like how she came to the shelter?
We have no idea. She was listed as a stray pickup.
Okay. Man, just all by herself, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And she was very scared, was very malnourished. And so she's still, we've reinforced her with food and water. So she's coming out of that. It's just going to be somebody that, is slow with her. And gets her into some good training. She is very treat motivated. So she's really learns quickly.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, she's adorable. How is she doing on potty training, Melissa?
Almost completely potty trained. We've only had maybe 1 or 2 accidents of her urine. She has never pottied in the house with the other. So she's really good. She will bark or she will come find you. So she's getting really good with that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We lost her.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's Clara Bear.
Yeah, Clara. Yeah, it looks like we lost her connection, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she just dropped out.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back.
That's okay. She's we lost Melissa temporarily, I think. Hopefully
sure
she'll
did,
find
didn't we? She might have squeezed her phone too hard. Yeah. Now I was in a little bit of a conversation with Rena, and that's why I wasn't here paying attention. But I'm going to address it publicly. Rena, the what you're seeing on your side is since we're on StreamYard, when we post something in the comments, it's going to post it. Okay, like I posted the link to the GPRS page. if you're on that page, GPRS posted it. That's where you're getting confused. But the link goes to the GPRS donation page. All right. That's one thing I did do before I posted. I took it from that page. That's how I posted the link. So I hope that clears it up.
Well, and that, and we've posted to both, to GPRS and
Yes.
to Great Pyrenees Rescue
Yes,
Run.
there were 2 separate links posted. I posted GPRS first, so it'll be above the Utah links. So just scroll up, and then you'll hopefully that clears it up. And let me know if it doesn't, because I'm not perfect either. It looks like Melissa's battery could have died.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So
Which
anyway, well, that's okay. We still have more show.
we do.
Because we can stutter around, we can stutter for a little while, but would this be the opportunity for cover Roman and in this class?
Yes, and
Okay.
I think if she gets back on, maybe we can talk about Clarabelle more at the end.
Right. So Roman's created this this online course that you learn. It's not live, but if you have a question, you can ask it, and he will get back to you. But this thing's really awesome. All right. I got to go through the entire thing to make sure everything was working properly and the documents in the right place. And this thing's amazing. And so he couldn't be here live, so he's telling us about it over a recording, a pre-recorded little segment. So here we go. And here we are. Hi, Roman. Wow. What is it that that everybody here, we're all so excited about?
Oh, you mean about the online class?
Well, about this new stuff you have that is catching everybody's attention.
Well, I'm kind of late, almost 3 years. I wanted to do it way earlier, but there are many things happened. My wife's cancer treatment, and it just went downhill from there. Well, I have put together an online course specifically for guardian dogs. It's basically a 4-part online guardian dog parenting course. Now I got it out. And we basically look into all aspects of guardian dog parenting and training. Now, I'm focusing more on the relational behavior intervention, and I'm not talking about how to train your dog to protect the gods and stuff like that. Because many problems happen if the dog enters the house or people enter the house. So we have behavior issues that are directly connected with everyday interactions. So bring the dog to the vet, or showing resource guarding, or showing separation anxiety, or showing aggression to strangers, and all these things being taken care of. Now, because of those different behaviors are very individualized, considering the factors that the dog may show those behaviors, is not just breed genetics. It's not just like out of the shelf kind of situation. But I give people kind of a better understanding how to identify those behaviors, how they're all interconnected with relationships, how they're connected with nutrition, how they're connected with early socialization and force-free dog training and meeting the dog's needs. They're all the subjects that nobody really touches. Everybody's focusing on fixing the behavior, but we don't see where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. So that parenting course basically addresses those issues. There's about 7.5 hours of video context. Wow. And I know you have seen it and you were very excited about it. Mm-hmm. All the feedback that I got was not negative, except of one piece, that people believe that dogs, because they're sentient beings, they have certain limited of capacities. But I went beyond that. This is what dogs have more capacity, so we actually give them credit for. And then people kind of complain about it, that there's no scientific evidence. Well, I listed scientific evidence to that too. So I got this sorted out. It's a scientific-based, experience-based. As a behavior consultant, I deal with this every time, just like you. And so I notice a pattern over the years, the last 17 years. There's a pattern happening here. We take dogs in. We expect dogs to be guardian dogs. And it's kind of like thinking, because one parent is a police officer and the other parent is a nurse, that becomes a nurse officer. It's not happening like that. Yeah. So education is important. breed traits that are also important. Nutrition is important. Relationships are important. Education is important. We have to see the whole spectrum of those things that affect the dog's behavior.
Right. What do you say about the people that say, what's so special about this dog? The Great Pyrenees. Why are they so different? Why do they have to be in a class on their own?
Right. So the reason why I created a class on their own, I have basically 2 separate classes for 2 different breed ideas. So the one is the guardian dog and the other one are Mastiff breeds. But the guardian dogs in particular, they're so different because of the thousands of years of evolution of that breed. Being
extremely intelligent.
Right. We have bred them to be independent. We have bred them to be easy to making decisions. They're cool dogs, but they have a license to kill if they have to, but they are non-lethal.
We got about a minute left here.
Right. And so we want to make sure that we understand the complexity of that breed. And we have to, and then the breed, like guardian dogs, are not just another dog and its training, like a bulldog, like a French Mastiff. They're completely different in the way they internally function. And they have a common sense of family systems. So if we don't understand how they function as a guardian breeds, we will not be able to help them. We will not be able to help them offer behaviors that we need to offer behaviors that we.
Their reactions could be when they react to something that could easily be different than what how a lab would react.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. We had more than a minute. We have about 4 minutes right now left.
Yes, we've got 4 more minutes. Squeeze it out. So, one thing that I wanted to do in this course is keep it simple. Not fancy, not very sciencey. I mean, if you really want to dig into science, I got you covered, right? But it's not my primary language. Primary language is more like a 4th, 5th grader. So even children can watch the video and can understand what's happening here. And it's important for the kids also to be part of the education of a guardian dog.
Now, this is self-help, right? At their own pace.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah. Well, my concept here is I want people to understand the basics. It's things that I repeat all over again with every sessions I do. Right? Every day, the same thing, telling people the same thing. So it's there. Read it so we save ourselves some time. So technically speaking, with that in mind, you can already start addressing basic issue, right? With a guardian dog. Understanding why we do and what we should not do and how should we do better. And even though people have educated and experience in guardian dogs, this is a very good additional information that most people don't think about, and it's not really accessible on the internet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Of course, if somebody has complex situations, can take that as a baseline and says, okay, I got my dog stable right now, but I do need one-on-one support. I have that option too.
Yeah. And I was honored, in my opinion, an honor, but I was selected. I got to go through this course and look for anything that might be missing or something that's wrong. And I only came up with one thing, didn't I? The survey didn't work. So,
well, you know, it's a course that has been in my mind for several years. I'm sure I missed something and you missed something, and somebody was going to find something that was missing. I don't have a problem adding it to it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think I covered pretty much everything.
And you did. And keep in mind, this is more of a step one, maybe a starter's course, but make no mistake, experienced peer owners, this is going to benefit you too, because I had an aha moment, okay? And something Roman said, because I forgot, and I had to, it's making me pay attention to make sure I am doing this, okay?
Right.
And
well, other courses that I have in mind here that are in the making, almost ready, are separation anxiety, resource guarding, aggression, territorial aggression.
That's right.
And a puppy class.
Yep. So,
but that puppy class is a huge project.
Yeah, and this is still a deep dive in this class, especially first-time peer parent. Okay, there's a lot to learn, because I'll tell you, one of the more important things of owning a Great Pyrenees is knowing their history. Okay,
right,
knowing what they are typically and what they aren't.
One thing that I notice is that people says, "Well, I researched the breed."
That's scary,
right? However, if you pay attention to that course, you do understand the breed.
That's
And
right.
I would say encourage everybody, if somebody wants to adopt a Pyrenees, and they can say, I joined Roman's class. I understand what I have to do the first day, the first week, the first
right.
month, the first year to keep my dog safe in the house.
Right. And your information is up to date, as current as we know it. So, wow. And that's now here's one that was a shocker to me. The cost.
Well, I want it to be accessible for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean,
Very fair price.
$47.
$49.
And I think it's something. It's a bag of food,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Right.
And I think that's something you can invest in the dog, considering A, you're going to improve his life, you're going to improve the welfare, you're going to improve the relationship, plus you're going to improve likely most of the common behavior issues dogs have in the house.
That's right. And it's
And
going
that goes with Pyrenees,
the parents' life.
Partage, with Anatolians, any type of guardian dogs. Now, I focus in particular with one particular dog, like guardian dog in general, but it applies to all the breeds. Now, each breed has a little bit variety differences in specific gestures and specific work descriptions, but how they function in the household are pretty similar.
Right.
Plus, a couple of
10 seconds.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Okay.
A couple of breeds are more social and other breeds are non-social, but that's a different chapter.
Okay, Roman, thanks for coming on. Wow, and that's I put the link to that in the comments. It's $47 for all of that. All right.
Awesome.
And Melissa had emailed me. She just lost her connection. It was just spinning. Almost sounds like the phone's stuck in cache, but she's not here. So and plus Krista just left too, it looks like. That's okay. We were Krista's back.
Krista's coming back.
Yeah, hi Krista again.
I had to restart my camera.
Okay. And I was thinking that with Melissa, either her battery died or she's stuck in the phone cache. So I asked her to restart her phone. We'll see what happens. All right. So wow. So,
Cassie.
who's that behind you, Molly?
This one's Julio.
Okay. But
He's-
don't you have a foster too?
I do, yes. I have Bailey, and she's currently working on a treat ball right now.
Okay.
So
I wanted to go into something if you're comfortable with it. She went on a walkabout not too long ago, didn't she?
she did. She went on her own walk without me holding on to her. So
And the end result turned out to be different than what was expected, didn't it?
yes, yeah. I mean, luckily everyone was safe, and everything turned out okay. But she used to not be afraid of traffic, like fast moving traffic, and now she definitely has a healthy fear of traffic. So
And keep in mind the significance of that is she's not turning into Cujo at the
Correct.
traffic anymore.
yes, yeah. She definitely wasn't afraid. Like if she saw a dog across the street, she would just almost immediately start crossing it without even looking. So yeah, now she definitely is more wary and better in front of cars versus like, oh, she can take the car on.
Now, typically we don't like to see fear, addressing fear, but there's no way that this was associated with a human because she was out on a walkabout. All right. And she learned on her own is what happened.
Yes.
And we don't think she was hit by a car at all because there's no bruises, no bumps. But
No,
we
she
think
was
that
fine.
one of them at least scared the bejesus out of her, huh?
Yes. Yeah. And she came running back to me pretty quickly. So something scared her. But yeah, even now though, when we're walking, she's not too traumatized by it. She still walks pretty well.
And I remember you told me once and I was shocked, but how long did her walkabout actually last that day?
Maybe like 4 or 5 minutes total.
Ain't
Not
that
long.
something?
Yeah, not long at all.
Ain't that something?
Yep.
And because she's safe with her foster mom.
Right. Yeah. I was wondering if she would think I was her safe person, but that kind of solidified it.
You had a biker or a bicyclist or somebody herd her back towards you, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I had Julio, and she is much quicker than 8-year-old Julio. So yeah.
Especially when you're holding the leash of 8-year-old
Yeah.
Julio.
Yeah. So he luckily decided to go after Bailey while I was trying to have Julio trot alongside me to go in her direction. So he was a
But
good
once again, Julio's 8 years old.
Exactly. Yes. So he knew
And
something was
again,
up.
Mr. Tibbs is 11, I believe, 11 or 12. He's up there too. Wow.
Yeah. It was
Now,
something, but she's doing okay.
that's good. And nobody knew how she was going to respond to that. Okay. But
Yes.
now we're seeing that this has turned into, like, I'll stop short of saying a positive experience, but this turned into a learning experience for her.
For sure. Yes, and it definitely could have. I worked with her a lot the first couple of days after it happened to make sure that she wasn't going to be too afraid of traffic to where she was like trying to bolt away from it because we live right off of a busy street. So yeah, lots of extra praise and encouragement and let's go. And yeah, she's doing pretty well. She's still doing okay.
Now, did she come to you or did she come to Julio at the end of her little trip?
Julio was on my right side and she was going to the left. So I like to think it was to me, but
Okay,
Julio
well, we'll go with that because even if it was Julio, you're still attached to Julio. So it's still coming back to someone to feel safe with.
Yes. And she was running pretty fast and she slowed down once she got up to us. So I think it wasn't intentional.
Yep. Okay.
Stop.
And God only knows there's going to be people out there that understand that
For sure.
Their dog gets out and holy crap, they're running away from them, not back to them.
Yes. Yeah. And I definitely wasn't trying to chase her because I knew that was just going to try to get her to go even farther and faster.
And what you did there was kept the game out of it.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And because that's a lot of times that's what it turns into. If you chase your dog that got out, now it's a game of keep away. And they always win.
Yes.
I don't understand that. How they always win. So
yeah.
But yeah, she that I bet you that was the longest 4 or 5 minutes you spent in a long time, huh?
It was. It felt like forever. So I was so happy when she was back and I was holding on to her.
Yeah. And she has now improved. So this is a good thing.
Yes.
So does that change what her perfect home would look like, maybe?
If
this sticks?
Yeah, I mean, having somebody who's always like ready with her, somebody who's always willing to expect the unexpected for sure with her and just be ready for a 2-year-old puppy.
Yeah. Now, you started a new job or getting ready to start a new job. Congratulations on that.
Yes,
where she's going to be home alone, her and Julio, right?
Yes.
Has that happened yet?
It has. Yeah. She's spent about 7 or 8 hours on her own with Julio there and been fine. But it's where when she's alone for a couple of hours that we have to put her in her crate. Otherwise, she likes TV remotes and hair ties and hair clips and some stuff that help her get.
Why doesn't she like the same ones when you go to work? That's even longer than a couple hours.
Exactly. Yeah, she does well. She doesn't try anything there, but I think that's because that's more of like a schedule with her. I think she does better leaving it.
So somebody that earns a living in order to feed her is fully capable of adopting her if they work.
For sure.
Cool. And she doesn't require a crate unless you go on a short hop.
Correct. Yes.
You got a backwards dog, don't you?
I know. It's very strange. But no, she does well in her crate. She goes in it. She doesn't see it as a scary place. So she, we put a little bone in there for her and she goes right in and she's a good girl. So
now, does that change or does it stay the same where she's going to need a younger dog as a playmate in her new home with a fenced yard?
Definitely still a younger dog. Julio can keep up with her for about 20 minutes of the day, but she could go for probably a good long hour if we let her.
So if you have a Julio, you need to have a younger one that can pass off onto the play because Bailey never gets tired, does she?
Yes. Yeah. Every time she looks bored in the house, I've got a different treat. I've got her snuffle mat, the treat ball, a bone, something always ready for her to try to keep busy.
That's right. And those are brain stimulants. A job, if you may.
For sure. Yep.
So
she likes her job.
Thanks, Molly. I want to see the new dog that I can't pronounce. So, it's pronounced like a
Zara.
Z. Zara. And where did I hear somebody talk about she's a mama? She looks like a baby.
Yeah, she's only about a year old, and she's a mama.
So another case of a baby having babies.
Yep.
Spay and neuter prevents that, everybody, just so you know. Wow, she's good looking. And now, when did you get her? When did you get her?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So you don't know a lot about her yet, other than she does well with Cassie.
She does well with Cassie. She's very nervous with people. Takes her a little bit to warm up. She likes me right now. She might not like me in a hour or so. But the moment she met the other dogs, she and Cassie were playing the first night.
Wow.
But she's little bitty. I'd be surprised. I would bet she's between 50 to 60 pounds. I haven't attempted to get her on the scale yet because she's so skittish. But she's tiny.
And how does she do with you? We know she does well with Cassie, but how does she do with you? It looks like she's on the path to a good relationship.
For the most part, pretty well. Sometimes she has to go somewhere she doesn't want to, and she's not happy with me then, but we're working on building up trust so that works better.
Okay. Now, don't you also have another Great Pyrenees in the house?
Yeah, she's back. There's some of that white fluff is the other Great Pyrenees.
Oh, look at that. It's not a rug. I thought it was a rug.
Yeah, there's more white fluff back there.
And that's
Artemis,
right?
is a senior, so she's pretty low key. They get along though.
Okay. Wow, cool. So this was so far, this has been an easy one, huh?
So far, yeah. She did not like, I always try to give the dogs a couple of days to decompress, where they have their own room. She was not a fan of that. And she was not interested at all in going in a crate. I tried feeding her in a crate after she met the dogs because she grumbled a little bit when she thought someone was going to go to her food bowl. But she's not like that, so she feeds in another room right now. She wasn't a huge fan of that, but now it's starting to be a pattern and routine, so she's getting used to it.
All right. For those that are wondering why I said what I said, why would it be such a surprise to have a dog come into your home and guard his food that's so vital to his survival? Why is that surprising? Because that's a natural behavior for any animal. And just be thankful they don't mimic humans. All right. Think about how we guard our resources with locks and keys and guns and everything. All they do is somebody tries to take their food, they might bite you. We'll shoot you. So let's put that into perspective. We're worse resource guarders than dogs are. So, so that behavior should not surprise you. As a matter of fact, if you go out to newhopepyrs.org and go to the About Us page, you're going to see an article there from the Whole Dog Journal written by Pat Miller, and it goes into this. Okay. Now, that article was written in 2011, just so you know. All right. So nothing's changed in that aspect. Okay. So, but it's a good article, and resource guarding usually, I mean, we got to expect it with dog and dog, okay? Or dog and new dog, other animals. It'll go away with humans typically on its own. And if you try to make it go away on your own, well, now you might be going too fast for the dog. And, but she's already over that for the most part, right, Melanie?
Oh, yeah. And I could probably start feeding them together, but she's picking up the routine well. So we're going to keep the routine of feeding separately.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, but I got to see Pico one more time. If that's Pico, I see the top of his head.
Pico.
Wow, there he is. And does he have some, what's his mix? Do you know? Any idea?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
I see some bully breed in there, possibly. Oh, somebody else said, Just the shape of her forehead is what. Wow, shoot, you can do anything you want to her, can't you?
He is a little boxy in his head.
Wow. He's just adorable.
Very. He's very
get your applications in, because if you think he's adorable too, get your app in. All right. Because it takes time. And if somebody already has their app in, they're going to get first dibs.
I need somebody to adopt him before I change my mind about him.
Yeah, because technically Krista sucks as a foster. All right. If she has him too long, she keeps him. All right. So, but on the other side of that same coin, fostering is the only job you can have that failure is actually a good thing. Because that's what they call it when you keep your foster, is foster failing. So, wow. He sure, I would support you on this one, because that is one good dog. His bio, what'd you say? He's as nice can be, right?
He is so friendly. He likes people. He likes all the animals. He gets along with the cats. He loves cuddling.
Wow. Lori says it's not a bad thing to be a foster failure. We know that. That is, if providing you don't keep every single one of them.
I would if
we
I
know
could.
somebody that does that, keeps every one of them. Yeah. So we don't even. I mean, I don't associate him with too much anymore. But I stopped calling him a foster. He's just an adopter.
Yep.
So, but anyway, but he gives them a good home. And how many do you have now?
Two and one foster right now.
Okay.
We had.
So you actually have room for another resident dog.
My husband might disagree with you.
I'm glad you're over 1,000 miles away from me. But that's why they invented airplanes, right? So he can come punch me right in the nose if I don't shut up. I get it. At least he's not a girl. I don't get beat up by a girl this time. All right. So, wow, what a show. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for fostering. And Molly, she's just a real trooper. She had her hands full with Julio, and foster failed. Well, him, Molly, and Tommy foster failed with Julio, and then put pajamas on him. Okay?
Yep.
He wasn't amused either. I don't have that picture in this studio, and I should do that, shouldn't I? Because
for next time.
That's my favorite picture, pretty much of all time.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Clarabelle, she's bringing up a close second with this one.
Yep.
Okay, and then we've got Tate. Okay, I think I've got it in here where the picture just is striking. I think that's it. Yeah, right there. That one. Look how he's sitting, and he looks so defeated, doesn't he?
He's ready to be done with that home.
Yeah, good thing that bed didn't have legs on it, huh? Because he wouldn't reach the floor. He'd still probably sit there, but he wouldn't reach the floor.
Yep.
Wow. Thank you to all the rescues that support the show, and the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society, the GP R.U.M. and Indy and Colorado, and the list goes on. It's Dog or Nothing. We can't forget It's Dog or Nothing. They're not a rescue, but they give rescues a lot of support. And Mountain Mamas, can't forget Mountain Mamas. And then there's Roman's Holistic Canine Training. He supports us often and pulls us out of a pinch. And then we definitely can't forget Skippy Skippins with Stephanie. We gotta get her back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, last time she came on, she took the whole show, right?
Probably.
Well, that's because she has a lot of dogs.
She does, yes. You could do a whole show on this for sure.
And at any given time. And I'm actually going to do a short feature on her because nobody knows that she is her own rescue. And she needs donations too. Okay. Wow. What's that say? Tate's father's Sam sits that way? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Bear sits that way. That's what she meant by Tate's father. Okay. Wow. So, and that's Cindy, that she has the parents and 3 of Tate's siblings there. And thanks for watching the show, Cindy. So, okay. I was wondering what you were saying. I got confused for a second. Sorry. I'll leave my fingers off that, Melanie. No point in doing the producer's job because we have a producer. Right? Wow. Thank you, Lori. I felt good with the show, but now we got to go. All right. Krista, thank you so much for bringing bringing him on. Let's see if we can make it to where you don't have to adopt him. All right. So,
Thanks
and
for having us.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, Cindy. I'm still working on your email too, by the way. Don't give up on me. I've been busy. All right, here we go, everybody. Melanie, you can take that banner down so I can start the. Thank you very much. Bye. See you next week.